In today's session, we will discuss about the optical sources, that is LEDs. We have already discussed what are the three main optical sources that we can have. Earlier, we used to have the wideband sources. Yes, here you can see the first one is wideband continuous spectral sources, earlier days. After that, we have LEDs and then lasers. We have some differences in that is LEDs and lasers. LEDs are incoherent sources. There is no there is no correlationship. They the frequencies they have any type. However, in coherent, all the frequencies will be of same type. So that is the difference. So today we will be discussing about the LEDs. We have seen the basics. What are the different requirements if you want to go for choosing an optical source? We have listed few requirements also. Then coming to some semiconductor basics, we have seen what are the energy bands. Then you mean by conduction band, valence band, then valence electrons, how the semiconductors behave, what is the energy gap. We have seen the basics of that. And then coming to this intrinsic and extrinsic semiconductors, how the doping happens. If you take group 5 elements, the type of doping, what type of material is formed. And if you take group 3 elements, what type of material you're going to form, that is extrinsic semiconductor material. Then coming to direct and indirect band gaps, you can see the momentum here, both have the same values here in conduction and valence band. Coming to the indirect band gap, you have the momentum different. That's why if the electron that is here in the conduction band, if it wants to become stable, it has to jump here. Okay, in this jumping process, it will emit energy, that is light. So here it is not direct. It needs some barrier. Okay, it needs a carrier, that is phonon. Through this, it will come to the valence band. That is the difference in the direct and indirect band gaps, semiconductors. So coming to the LEDs. The LEDs we will be discussing basically what are the LEDs. Probably in some of your experiments or projects, while just a small LEDs you might have used, you might have seen in your day-to-day lives. Okay, we will be looking into that in detail. We will be looking into both LEDs as well as lasers in this module 3. Coming to the basics, for optical communication systems, it requires bit rates less than 100 to 200 Mbps. So its usage is limited. Okay, together with multi-mode fiber coupling as the optical fiber in tens of microwatts. If this is the combination, the bit rate is this, then multi-mode fiber coupling with an optical fiber power coupling of tens of microwatts, then LEDs are the best suitable choice. LED is a that is light emitting diode, is a two-terminal device referred to as light emitting diode. It is used in forward bias and in reverse bias, in both. Okay, normally you know how you symbolically represent a diode. This is your diode, right? So if you use two arrow marks like this emitting light, this will be the symbol for LED. Probably all these things you know already, just I have listed. Directly jumping into these structures won't make sense. So better let us start with the primitive, the structure, the symbol. Okay, it works similar to a normal PN junction diode. Okay, in a reverse bias. That is, you know how the forward and reverse bias of a diode, how it works. You have even, I think, drawn the characteristics, something like this. You know this pinch of, the cutoff voltage. Then this is your reverse bias, right? Reverse forward, reverse current, right? Reverse saturation current. So you know the characteristics of this diode, normal diode, PN junction diode. So it works both in forward and reverse bias. But in reverse bias, it works similar to the normal PN junction diode. So for us, the important is forward bias. So how it works, that is important. Coming to the symbol we have seen, probably this kind of structure you might have used. Small red color ka rehta hai, right? Colors will be different. So inside that, what all things will be there? This is the base, okay, over which you'll be having the anode and the cathode, two terminals. This is your P type, this is your N type. You can see both these P type and N type, they are not equal in the structure. You have a bend here, Okay, then these two will be having a contact, a line contact here, so that through this region the light gets emitted. And whatever structure I have shown you, it will be covered by a transparent material. क्योंकि अगर आप transparent material use करोगे, then only you can, the light will be what? It will get into. So that's why you use a covering which is transparent. Working. This is you can see PN junction diode. Okay. What is the difference you find it here, especially here in case of LED? You have P type, you have N type material. You know how this is formed. You know doping karte hain. What are the majority carriers? P, that is holes and electrons. Okay, you know what is this? This is a depletion region. Okay, go back to your basics of diodes. You try to recall. Okay, at this you'll whatever these majority carriers, they will move and they accumulate here at the other end of this. However, here also this phenomenon you have learned already. Okay, and these will not cross over and get into another, even though they are of opposite poles. They should attract, right? But they don't get into in the normal PN junction diode because of the barrier potential, right? Now coming to the LEDs, if the wavelength is in this range, whatever you are operating, if the wavelength is in this range, then only the diode emits the light. How it emits the light? We have seen, if you have obviously this PN junction diode, you have in the conduction band majority carriers will exist. So in order for these carriers to be stable, they want to jump into the valence band. I have given you the earlier concept in the introduction part. Why they want to come back, because of the stability. In conduction band, they won't be they will be unstable. Okay, while coming like this, they emit energy. Okay, this is in the form of a light that we have seen. So whatever majority carriers will be there in the conduction band, they will jump to the valence band. So this is the phenomenon happening in case of LED when the wavelength is in this range. Okay, so you may ask why in the normal diode we can't see the light, right? If the working is similar, why cannot we see the light? Because the wavelength what we are operating on is within this range in LEDs, so it is visible here from this region, depletion region. The whatever this process happens, and the light gets emitted. This light you can see because it is visible to humans. That range में है वो, इसीलिए you can see it. Coming to the materials used, okay, this is just a brief I'm giving you. In detail, you have the study of those materials also. So materials used for making the LED, gallium arsenide. Probably आप TV के remotes में use करते हैं इसको. You can see. Then gallium phosphorus, gallium arsenide, phosphorus. ये red या green color emit करने के लिए use करते हैं ये material. This is either red or yellow. This is about the introduction. Now coming to the first concept of your LED structure, that is the types of LEDs. Okay, that is here for your study. The common LED structures used in optical fiber communication are homojunction LED or heterojunction LED. We also call this heterojunction LED as a double hetero structure. Okay? Because of the sandwich layer type, we call it double hetero structure. Okay. For your study directly, LED structures starts with double hetero structure. So let us see what is this homojunction and heterojunction. Now coming to the homojunction LED, when a junction is formed by doping the same semiconductors, okay, you're using the substrate same. Okay, if you do this kind of, if you do use this kind of structure wherein you have formed the junction, okay, PN junction, by doping the same semiconductor like gallium arsenide hai. Okay, you're using this material, you're using the doping. For N type, for P type, you know what kind of dopants you want, group 3 and group 5 elements. So you use these impurity atoms and you dope it. So you are using the same semiconductor, that is gallium arsenide. So that is called, whatever PN junction that is formed is called homojunction. Okay, but however its efficiency is low. So let us concern with the heterojunction. Okay, we can make use of the advantage, we can have the advantage of the structure. Let us study that. The heterojunction is formed between two semiconductors which are having the same lattice parameters. Okay, however lattice parameters are same but with a different band gaps. Let me show you the figure here. You can analyze it. What is the difference? If I want to draw a normal PN junction diode, it is something like this. Okay, this is your P type, this is your N type. The same material you are using. This is what your homo junction, right? एक ही मटेरियल है, डोपिंग अलग अलग यूज कर रहे हो. This will be your homo junction LED, PN junction. However, if you take the heterojunction, if you use the heterojunction PN junction, so in order for the heterojunction, you can see the base, the semiconductor used, the material used is gallium arsenide. However, we can see one more, with the subscripts of 1 minus AX, EX, AL, this arsenic, AS I have used, but these subscripts I have used. Okay, so we cannot say that both are same, because the second, with the subscripts what I have written, they are not the pure gallium arsenide. यहाँ पर आपको gallium arsenide material है, but if you see here, they are the alloy form. So that's why heterojunction, we are using different, even though lattice structure is same, parameter is same, वो उसका alloy ही है, but with some other additions. Alloy, you know, it's a mixture. So we are using alloys here. In this structure, in the heterojunction LED I'm talking about now, you have this P type, you have this N type. Okay, ये तो आपका normal आप study किए हो PN junction. However, this is a new term to you. At the center, 3 layers, what you see, that is a new term to you. How it works, we will see. This is a P type. Okay, this acts. This is for the metal contact, E or N. Coming to this is an alloy. This is a P type. So since it is a P type, holes are the majority carriers. Why we are using the alloys? Because we will be utilizing some property of that. Because of that, this hetero structure we are using. Coming to the N type, here electrons are the majority carriers. So what will happen? At the center, you can see you have an active layer. That is important. यहीं से आपको light emit होगा. From this active region itself, the optical output, that is beam, gets emitted. You have two junctions here, J1 and J2. It is a heterojunction. दो अलग-अलग चीजें हैं. Material का lattice parameter same है, but what you are using with a different band gaps. ये alloy form में जब आप ले रहे हो इसको, तो their band gaps will differ. ये बैंड गैप्स डिफर होने की वजह से बैरियर ज्यादा हो जाएगा. ओके, फॉर द कैरियर्स टू मूव, बैरियर ज्यादा होने की वजह से यू कैन नॉट हैव दैट नॉर्मल वर्किंग. सो दिस इज इंपॉर्टेंट. एक्टिव लेयर, दैट इज एक्टिव रीजन, which is a recombination region. यहाँ पर आपके जो भी majority carriers हैं, they will recombine, and during this process of recombination, this what they emit energy, क्योंकि recombination हो रहे हैं, so they will obviously, जो I said law of conservation of energy, जो absorb होगा वो emit होगा. They will lose energy in the form of a light. Okay, this is the barrier. Sorry, this should be what?